Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing Dota 2, but items gain experience. When you gain experience, each item in your inventory gains experience as well. At certain benchmarks, the item gains a level, increasing its ability special values by 10%, which is additive. And that's pretty much it. It's fairly straightforward. I mean, there's some specifications regarding certain things, but it is a fairly simple mode, as in you level up your items as you level up your hero. An important note here is that when combining items, you do transfer your experience, but you lose 30% of it. Thank you very much to Abraham Blinken for making the mode. And thank you guys for playing Sweet Dreams Alex at the Steam Next Fest. The Steam Next Fest is still going on, the demo is still available, but only for 2 more days. You will only be able to play the game for this weekend, and afterwards it's gonna go private again. So if you wanna try out Sweet Dreams Alex, I would really appreciate it. We've already got a ton of positive feedback, everybody seems to really enjoy it. If you want a game that's just nice and relaxing, that's the game for you. Now, on that note, I'm also going to upload our new trailer today, which I'm really excited for. Please give that a look. If you enjoy the trailer, then maybe give the game a try as well. There's a link in the description. And now, let's get into the game. Right, we got ourselves a specter, which is very spooky. Now, I'm thinking we should get a Hand of Midas, right? That feels like the best item to get early on, because we can start with Gloss of Haste, which will then level up as we level up. And then we can carry that experience into the Hand of Midas. We don't even have to build the Hand of Midas right away. We can just build boots and get other stuff and then build into the Hand of Midas. And I think that's actually probably how we want to play this, right? We want to start out by getting like Gloss of Haste and brown boots and Radiance recipe. I don't know, do recipes work? It's actually an interesting question. I might try it with a magic wand recipe, I'm curious. But, you know, we can build these starting items. Now, here's something. I already tested this, but Manta Star sadly isn't fun. You do get more illusions, that does work, but the illusions deal less damage. Because the way Manta Star works is that it doesn't define how much more damage your illusions do, right? It's not a multiplier in that way. Instead, it just gives you a percentage reduction on how much damage your illusions do. So it doesn't say, your illusions deal 0.33 times the damage, which if you then were to increase that, you would deal more damage. Instead, it says your illusions deal minus 66% damage. So if you were to go ahead and increase that value, you just end up with less damage. So that's not great. And that's something we want to avoid. Also, I'm just gonna try whether or not it works with a recipe. I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna buy myself this early recipe here. And my goal here is entirely just... Are we? Okay, alright. We're already going at it, I guess. Wow. Well, no, I'm Spectre. You can't, doesn't work that way. Alright, I can put this into my inventory, right? Because if that works, I'm gonna just buy a Radiance recipe. That's gonna be my first item here. Oh, it does work! Oh, it does work, okay. Alright, guys, we're gonna get a Radiance recipe. I see a problem with my plan. Alright, we're gonna go out and get a Talisman of Evasion. That's even better! That's even better! That's just an improvement. That just makes it even nicer because we get an actual item. Sorry, look, Radiance had a recipe for 20 years. And now it's not had a recipe for like 3 months. And I just forget. I just forget sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm old. Let me go and get this. Grab that Talisman of Evasion. And get ourselves some distance. Now, something I wanted to briefly talk about. So, I told you recently that Coco was sick, right? Like one of our cats is sick. And then we thought it was a lymphoma. And you may have already figured out where I'm kind of going with this. So I waited with telling people what is going on until, you know, it seemed like the vet was sure. And I waited until like that point was reached so that I don't accidentally say something that isn't true, or that I say something that, you know, comes too early. But I waited until after a biopsy until to tell you all, right? I waited for a long time, and when the doctor was like really certain. However, we went back to the vet yesterday to get her stitches out from the surgery that she had, and turns out that the doctor no longer thinks that it's a lymphoma. Now, the doctor doesn't know exactly what it is yet either. The thing is that there are a bunch of things that will basically disguise as cancer. Not as in they want to actively look like cancer, it's just the way they present. They seem like cancer. And those are really hard to spot. But the doctor like had another closer look at everything, you know, in the time in between, and talked to the lab that they were talking, and turns out that no, they actually don't think it's a lymphoma anymore, which is good. A lymphoma is probably uncurable kind of cancer that almost certainly leads to a pretty quick death. So I'm happy that it's not that. Now, we don't know what it is. The current primary candidates are either bacterial infection, a fungal infection, but very specific kinds, and very rare kinds, and a different kind of much worse cancer. So I'm really hoping it's not that one. If it still is cancer, then that different kind of much worse cancer is straight up untreatable. While a lymphoma is not curable, it is treatable. This new kind of cancer that it could be is just straight up not treatable. So let's hope it's not that. However, the doctor also said that it's incredibly rare. It is super rare. The other options are much more likely. We do still know that there's something wrong with her. In case you might be wondering, like, how are we so certain that the cat is sick? Well, cats don't like visibly present symptoms usually, but Coco had some visible symptoms, but also more importantly, we had her blood work taken, and her blood work showed visible clear signs of inflammation and sickness, like in a way where it's just no, this is definitive 100% proof. There's really nothing that can be said there. So that's kind of like the thing. But if it is the fungal infection, which is currently what we're hoping for, then it is very likely treatable. It can sometimes not be, but there's a good chance it is. So that's what we're currently hoping for. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like give you all a little bit of an update there, because, you know, that's something that's going on and it's not very fun. Something I was also worried about, well, if it is some kind of like bacteria or infection, you know, could it like spread? Could it go to Noah? Could Noah also be affected by it? And turns out that for this specific kind, the transmission is possible, but it is very difficult and kind of rare. So we don't need to worry too much about it. But basically the way it's usually transmitted is if blood from the infected cat gets into the eyes of an uninfected cat. Which is, first of all, metal as fuck. That's okay. That's very specific. But yeah, so that's kind of like how that can happen. But secondly, it is also something that we can actually work to prevent pretty easily, because we just, you know, we obviously don't want the cats to be bleeding in the first place. And also they don't get that physically close to each other usually, so it's very likely going to be fine. The final note on this whole saga, if it is a fungal infection, then my immediate guess would be that that's because this apartment is moldy as shit, and on top of a damp cellar that is also moldy and wet as shit. And that's probably what caused it. And in that case, I want to get out of here as soon as possible. I mean, the thing is, we are already planning on moving rather soon. But if that turns out to be the thing, I mean, we're dipping. Right? Anyway, okay. That's kind of it. Yeah. Alright, cool. So now that we tackled that. We have a level 10 Hand of Midas. Which I guess is nice, I don't know. Ooh, gotta be kind of careful here. Do I think I'll go in, yeah. There you go. Gotta be kind of careful. But I think we should be okay. Hello, Goomba. Goomba from Among Us. Alright, we'll get our distance here. Hand of Midas. And we are quite close. Quite close to our Radiance. So when we upgrade into the Radiance, we will lose a little bit of levels. Yes, so it's now level 9. Which is pretty good still. And oh my god, it does a lot of... Oh my god, it does... Oh my god, it is... Holy shit, this is actually going hard. Alright. Well, I had high hopes for my Radiance, but like that's even better than expected. So we want to get ourselves hard next. Which we need to get the booster first, right? But goddamn, I mean the AoE being scaled up is super good. Get that vitality booster. Hello, Pingu. Alright, that's a kill. I wonder how much damage I actually do with this Radiance. Okay, but I am really low on HP, so we need to be a little careful with that. We will get more deaths. I don't know. Dagger. Dagger would probably have been better, but oh well. Okay, we don't have much health. I should probably go back, but I don't want to. We're Spectre. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So now I'm looking for... I'm gonna come in here. I'm just looking for a target I can Hand of Midas. Alright. But yeah, I'm gonna run around and I'm gonna look for more and more of this healing. Because I need to be careful. But we're doing okay. We're not doing okay. Oh. Oh, what a shock. I made a video yesterday talking about a resolution for placing wards. The idea is very similar to League's method to placing wards. I know. It's actually really interesting. There's like some topics where people in Dota really, they get really defensive when you criticize them. Like wards are one of them, buyback is one of them. Although the opinion on buyback has been changing a little bit, and I think a lot more people are on my side now. But something, if I may just add to that, I don't want to dig up that whole conversation again because, you know, like it's fine. I made my point. If you disagree, that's okay. I have no problem with that. But there's one point that I want to make really clear. That's kind of like a fundamental belief I have regarding games. But I think generally speaking, the player is never wrong. And I saw a lot of people propose that basically like, oh, people are playing it wrong. The players are playing it wrong if they don't buy wards. And I think that's a faulty attitude to have, and I think that's a wrong way to think about games in general. The players, as far as I'm concerned, as long as they're not actively, maliciously going against what the game is telling you to do, the way they play the game and the way they experience the game is always, like, correct. It is always kind of well, it is a valid experience, right? So I find it very, very difficult for the player to ever be wrong about something. And that's kind of my general attitude to all of this stuff. So I think that's where a bit of a difference of opinion comes in as well, right? Because I saw a lot of people kind of suggest that, well, if you're not buying wards, you're playing the game wrong. And sure, yeah, you're playing the game wrong from a way that it's intended. That's definitely true. But just because something is intended doesn't mean that the players will do it, right? Because it's not necessarily designed in a way that it lends itself towards that. And that can be really difficult to make good. You need to have these factors be interesting and appealing and intuitive and have them function in such a way that players can actually do them and want to do them in a way that aligns with their expectations for the game. And if that isn't the case, if even though the game is, you know, structured in a way around an aspect but players aren't using it properly, then I think that is generally a failure on the part of the game, not so much on the players. But that's okay. Again, it's one of those things where it really comes down to like how you view games as a whole, right? And whether or not you think the players can be blamed for something that they are doing in a game wrongly. Again, the core message from my side is basically that the player's experience is always valid. Always. And that's just how it be. Now, I also saw a bunch of people saying that Baumi people are buying wards. And maybe it's changed. I gotta say, I have... So, two notes on that really quick. I saw some people suggest that I have not played enough normal Dota to really be able to make a judgment call on this. And I want to be clear, I have literally played thousands of games of normal Dota. Just because I haven't played them recently doesn't mean I haven't done it. Right? But it is worth keeping in mind that maybe my experience isn't valid anymore, right? Maybe the way that I experienced warding for a long time across Dota's history isn't the way it's done anymore and isn't the way people view it anymore. And so, yeah, I could just be wrong. Could just be wrong, absolutely. Because that's kind of like a core premise of what I'm saying, right? Is that people don't like buying wards. And maybe people like buying wards now. If I'm honest, it would surprise me, but I've been wrong before. Okay, hello. Yes, I'm just chilling. By the way, yes, the game is lagging a little bit. It just be how it be, you know. There's a lot of leveling up going on. It's gonna be lagging a little bit. Oh my god, Spectre. Look at her go. Near invincible. So I want to get magic resistance, I think. I'm gonna sell my Hand of Midas now. I'm gonna buy an Eternal Shroud for magic resistance. I'm gonna upgrade my boots. I think that's my item set, right? Arguably we could get like a MKB for more damage. But I don't know, looking at their team, I find it unlikely that they'll have that much evasion. Also, you play core mostly. Again, yeah, right? It is worth keeping in mind always that when I'm describing something, I'm describing it from my experience. And my experience may not be the most valid one. It may be... Well, no, I just said that the player experience is always valid. No, what I mean with that is not necessarily the most common one. Alright? And I can very much be wrong about stuff. But when I share this kind of stuff with you, I'm not trying to argue a point in the way that, oh, I am definitely right and here's the truth. It's more often than not just, oh, I find this interesting. And I think it's worth thinking about. Okay. So our opponents are having a really hard time against me right now. I don't know where they are. Where's this Venomancer? Over there. Found him. Holy shit. Look at this Radiance. Wait, where did the Veno go? Oh, back there. Is that the Force Staff? God, that does so much damage. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, you can't do anything against my power.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Can't do anything against that. Oh. Did that land? That did land. Good. Okay. Hello there. Very good. Nice. Took them down. And I think it's time to like go and push and finish this game. I find this one to be a very fun idea. But I'm guessing that having all of these items and having everything else that's going on, it's it's a bit much for the game to handle, and it probably can't deal with it that nicely. Okay, let's go and get this tower. Break it down. Got my Aghanims coming in. My attacking power is not that high, but I mean my fighting power is through the roof. That's always the funny thing about Spectre, like, you don't necessarily do that much right-click damage, but you are just overwhelmingly powerful anyway, just in a very unique way. I always really liked Spectre as a result. You know, I think there's a ton of heroes in the game, a ton of carries in the game that get their power through just clicking on the enemy and then dealing a lot of damage and lifestealing and whatnot. And nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that. But I just always thought it was really neat that Spectre was a little different, where most of her power just comes through being really hard to kill, and then also just doing barely enough damage that you do actually have to deal with her. Alright. Go ahead and get this tower. Finish this nice and quickly. Before the lag gets worse. Yeah, I don't think they can really fight into me. I'm just gonna keep clicking the Ancient and, you know. Like, if you all wanna come fight me, go ahead. Pop off. Alright, I got a double kill. I mean, their team is dying. I am not even attacking them. So I see that as a bit of a win. Oh no! Oh. Was that a Silver Edge? No, it wasn't. Interesting. I wonder what killed me there. Alright, we'll equip this. We'll put this over here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself this pick off. If I can. Oh, it's really difficult. Oh no. Okay, we've got Onyx. Yeah, with MKB I do quite a bit of damage now. And like, very much the standard style of damage. Okay, now I'm affected by Demonic Purge. I still just got a huge amount of health regen. Alright, there's Leshrac. Okay. No, that's not enough. No, that's not enough. I'm gonna just beat up the Leshrac, I think. You know, sometimes the best way to kill the enemy is to actually just kill the enemy. Oh no. Okay, there's a slow. There's a second slow. Come on! Oh, this is just very silly. But okay, we got backdoor protection down again. I'm just gonna... Oh my god, it just keeps reactivating! Why does the backdoor protection keep reactivating? Okay. Just give me some creeps in here. Okay. And? Oh my... Why do you make us suffer like this? Come on now! Get him! There we go! Oh, man. I mean, they put up a fight, didn't they? They sure put up a fight. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, and I mean you've watched a good amount of it at this point, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks, that really makes a difference. Also, I stream on Twitch 5 times a week. If you would like to participate in one of our games, that is the place to go. There's a link in the description. Thanks, let's continue with the match. Okay, we got ourselves a Spook Assassin. Spooky Phantom Assassin. And we're gonna go ahead and build towards what? Now, Abyssal Blade, no, does this have like a fun start? Build of Strength. We'll start with a Build of Strength. I gotta say, I was actually kind of unimpressed by I was kind of unimpressed by the Hand of Midas, so I'm not gonna bother with that again. Now, you may have noticed something kind of weird about the second match. To try and reduce lag, we're playing with only 6 players. I really never do this. I mean, this is probably a first that we have ever done this. But I like the idea of this mode. I think this is a cool mode. It is laggy though, so I'm thinking if we reduce the player numbers, maybe it'll be less laggy. And also I sped up golden experience, so it's probably going to be a bit of a faster game, but I thought this way we can have, you know, a second match. I don't think we want to have a second match in the way where it's just going to be laggy again. That would be not ideal. Do we want Desolator? It has stacks. I don't think we want Desolator actually. Now I'm using this to build into Abyssal, but I'm going to go ahead and get Boots of Speed, and I'm going to go ahead and get one band of Elven Skin for Saint and Yasha, and I'm gonna get a Morbid Mask for Morbin time, and I'm gonna then build a Demon Edge for Divine Rapier. No, I should, before I do that, I should get an MKB, so I'm gonna build Blitz Knuckles for MKB. And I'm just getting these like smaller bits and pieces of our items, entirely just so that, you know, they are all already leveling up. And we can use them that way. And that's my plan. That's my plan. We'll see how it goes, right? Get ourselves this. And we're gonna just be working our way through this game. Thank you very much. Band of Elven Skin. It's a shame we can't get Desolator. Desolator would be very nice, but that's okay. I mean, we're Phantom Assassin, right? There's lots of other items we can get. Oh, also, just to make that clear, we banned Radiance for this match. Just because it felt a little overpowered last time. I know. Baumi, you used the thing and then you ban it. Yes, but you know, I didn't know it was going to be that broken. I didn't expect the radius to increase. That was mostly the thing. I didn't expect the radius to go up. And, I mean, at that point, I was just kind of trying to end the game before the lag gets unbearable. I'm not even sure if I managed to do that, because that lag got pretty bad towards the end, right? Alright, get ourselves these. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and bits and pieces our inventory here right now. I think that's generally a good way of going about it. It's kind of interesting. Free versus free, isn't it? Long time ago, that was like a big thing in MOBAs. Like, remember the MOBA boom? Man, there were just a bunch of them coming out. There was just so many coming out. I mean, these days, I don't think there's really any MOBAs releasing anymore. Right? It's just pretty chill. There's just not that many coming out. But, there was a time when they were just being spammed. Basically. And during that period, there was this really interesting phenomenon where all of the MOBAs would always try to like compete with each other on having multiple maps. Look at us, we have 5 maps. You can play 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, and 5 versus 5. In this mode, 3 versus 3 is the primary. You know, it was always about kind of like changing the... Like in this game, 3 versus 3 is the primary way of play. It's always about changing the... like... core... gameplay style, I suppose, a little bit. I always found that to be kind of a little bit interesting, because, funnily enough, over time, it's kind of established itself that that is not really the way to make a MOBA. Because you need a really well-crafted map, right? Like, the Dota map is probably the single most well-crafted map in existence. Don't come at me with Dust 2. Don't talk to me about Dust 2. I don't know about the League of Legends map. I think it's also really well made. But the Dota map has had so many iterations, right? It's changed so much over the years, and I think there were definitely some stinkers in there. I'm not gonna go ahead and pretend that they were all great, but most of them, I would argue, were pretty good. I would say most of the iterations of the Dota map were pretty nice. Alright, this Clinks is just like running around like man. What do you have? Oh, you're going for a similar style. That's fun. It's funny. Ganking. It's kind of weird, isn't it? There's not that many people here, but hey, pop off, I guess. So I have my Demon Edge. I'm out of mana, which isn't great. But yeah, these days, the appeal of, you know, more Dota maps isn't really like a thing. Right? I think if I were to ask your average Dota player, like, how would you improve Dota? Something that would basically never come up is a new map. Map changes might be. People might be like, change the map, add heroes, nerf Tinker, remove Ricky, change the items, balance the game, right? There would be a lot of things that people would suggest. And some of those suggestions will definitely include the map to a certain extent. But I don't think a lot of them would include a straight up new map. I think that would be a really rare suggestion. And that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because in a lot of games, the idea of having a new map come out is actually a pretty popular one. That's something people look forward to. But in Dota, that idea is a little unthinkable. Okay. So we'll get also the Yasha, and then we'll build that into a Sentient Yasha. I mean, we're already pretty powerful here. And this bash, ooh. You would love a new map? Well, it's just kind of interesting. Oftentimes new maps would also come with the idea of different player numbers, right? This is the 2 versus 2 map, and this is the 3 versus 3 map. But it's just kind of hard to design heroes for different player numbers, right? Like, in 5-on-5, Bane is balanced. He's pretty okay there. I mean, he's still good, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't go around and describe Bane as being, you know, anything extremely problematic. But if we look at, for example, 1-on-1, all of a sudden Bane ends up not being all that fun. But I think even in 2-on-2, that can already be the case, right? Legion Commander, yeah, Legion Commander would be spooky there. Alright, we'll get this, and we should lock this one. Alright, we're running around pretty quickly now. Also, turns out Basha is kind of broken, look at that. Basha, a little OP, a little nuts. Where's everybody? I guess I'll just break down this tower then. We'll just go ahead and get ourselves a tower kill. On the other hand, a hero like Winter Wyvern, really scary in 5-on-5, right? Ooh, that ultimate is terrifying. But in a 1-on-1? What the fuck is she even gonna do? I guess fly away? Yeah, I suppose we have Wiggle for that stuff, right? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Alright, here's my MKB.
Your bottom tower
Gonna need another one of those. Oh my god, Phantom Assassin. Oh, she is scary as hell, isn't she? Yeah. I thought so, you know, like we can get some right click stuff and then just absolutely overwhelm people. Nice thing about Phantom Assassin, pretty much everything she does is percentage based. I know it sounds weird, right? But like all of her stuff scales really well with her attacks. So, yeah. If we get more powerful because the items are more powerful, then Phantom Assassin gets more powerful. So do I get the Divine route now? So time for Divine? I think it might be. Where's everybody anyway? Oh, there's a Cottle, okay. Dagger? Does it hit? It does. And that's a kill. Absolutely brutal. Wait, let me get my Divine. Let's make this a bit interesting, right? Pick up this bad boy. So now I deal 1,000 extra damage. Wow.
enemy's top tower has
Woo.
fallen.
Well, good luck, everybody. Think they'll have a bit of a hard time going up against this. No! Oh! Didn't get a bash or a crit on that. I mean, I don't know what my bash chance is, but I assume it's pretty high. A little unfortunate. A little unfortunate. Now the number of divine drops on death might be increased. Wait, you think we'll drop more than one divine? No.
Has fallen.
No way, we'll drop one divine.
Top tower
The question is, will it retain its level? Which would surprise me. Okay. We got the Tusk. We'll get more crit, of course. Where's that Cottle? Where's that Cottle? Bring him here! Oh my god.
enemy's middle tower. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
I killed him before he could even connect with his projectile there.
Enemy's top barracks has fallen.
Alright, let me pick up this.
Has fallen.
Got 2 lines of racks. And Casual Moon Shard, of course. Aghanim's. Level 18 on that Divine. Whew. It's just really hard to fight me. I got 50% status resistance as well. There they go. Feels like this is giving a huge amount of attack speed. Yeah, that's just Phantom Assassin if you give her insane items, you know. Well, I suppose it didn't end up lagging. It did end up being a little one-sided. But then again, I think we still had some fun, right?
Tower has fallen. Radiant structure.
Ooh, is that a clings? Nice. I think we still had some fun. Alright then. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to do a rating on the video. I would definitely appreciate that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.